to live by. A better worldview? As an atheist, shouldn't he just say it's a different worldview? When you say one worldview is better than another, you're comparing it to an absolute standard. Where does he get that without God? Borrowing from our worldview. Sean Taylor is quoted in that same article as saying that belief in God is illogical. What does that assume? That there's an absolute standard of logic that our belief deviates from. Where did they get that absolute standard without God? You see, Jeff touched on it a little bit earlier, but logic is universal. Logic is not made of matter, and logic does not change. God is universal. God is not made of matter. God does not change. I'm not saying that God is logic, but God is logical. And we have a worldview that makes sense of logic. Ask the atheist, where do you get universal, abstract, invariant laws from without God? They will not give you an answer. They'll dance, but they will not give you an answer. Now, this debate is titled The Existence and Attributes of God. Well, I just shared with you one of his attributes. God is logical. Our opponents have accused us of being illogical. Well, as my brother Jeff so wonderfully articulated in his opening statement, so what? What's wrong with being illogical to advanced bags of primordial goo? You see, I can tell you why it's wrong to be illogical. Because we're created in the image of God. Ephesians 5 verse 1, we're told to be imitators of God. When you are illogical, you're saying that God is illogical. See, a logical contradiction amounts to a lie. When you're saying it's both the case that my car can be in the parking lot and not in the parking lot at the same time, in the same way, you're lying. God tells us not to lie. Why can you not have logical contradictions in a worldview without God? Where do you get laws that forbid contradictions in a worldview without God? My friends, it's absurd. They will not answer those questions. I mean, they will try and get away from them, they'll try and get around them, but they won't answer that question. Here's another attribute of God. God is not a thief. Why is stealing wrong? Not because it makes people mad, not because of, whatever reason that they're going to come up with, an arbitrary reason. Stealing is wrong because God is not a thief. You're created in his image. When you steal, you call God a thief. That's why stealing is absolutely morally wrong. I can answer that question. Why is adultery wrong? They might even disagree with that point. But adultery is not wrong because it destroys families, which it does. It's a terrible consequence. It's not wrong because it destroys marriages. It's a terrible consequence. That's not why it's wrong. Why is adultery absolutely morally wrong? Because God is perfectly faithful. And when we commit adultery, we call God an adulterer. That's why it's wrong. Now, people are uncomfortable with stuff like that because it holds a mirror up to their life. It's not wrong because of some arbitrary command of God. It's wrong because of who God is. And everyone here knows that. That's why they know things are wrong. And that's why you know things are wrong when you do them. And you suppress that truth. And the older you get, the more you're going to suppress that. God's going to hand you over to it. That's why you need to repent tonight. Because God hands people over to the suppression of the truth. You see, I go to college campuses and I talk to young kids and I can talk with them. I can have a nice philosophical argument with them, I can tell them. But when they get older, I go to the Reason Rally and the people in their 40s and 50s, they give me the finger. And I'm their best friend. See, if somebody's walking towards a cliff, who's the best friend? Not the one who talks about how nice a day it is, nice what you're wearing. It's the one who says, stop, there's a cliff. And my friends, there's a cliff that these people are walking towards. That's why we're here. You see, according to their worldview, our thoughts are nothing more than brain barf, chemical reactions, and they want to hold us to a standard that they simply can't justify without God. No. Bruce doesn't have faith. He doesn't have faith, he has confidence. Confidence. Confide, from the Latin, with faith. This man's faith is going to lead him to hell. And we have to love on them tonight. Love on them. Love on them. Love on your atheist friends.
2 minutes.
Tell them about the God that they know exists. That's why I'm a presuppositionalist, because I'm not here to coddle people into hell with evidences. No. I'm here to hold the mirror up and show them the God that they know exists. You see, when you give truth to people, it doesn't matter if they mock you. It doesn't matter if they tell you not to talk like that anymore. Who are they coming to when they're in trouble? When they have trouble in their life, they're not coming to the person who's argued with them about the complexity of the eye for 6 hours. They're coming to the person who said, I know that you know. Our Bible says they know. They know. Are they lying? No. They're suppressing the truth in unrighteousness. They lift up other beliefs and they suppress the other ones. Why? Because they love their sin just like you and I did. But God saved us from that. It's nice to be in a crowd where the majority is Christians for a change, and I love your faces, I love the nodding of your heads. Pray for them. Pray for them. Right now, it's not too late.